Okay, so I found this guy, Stephen A. Smith. He's a serious guy because I basically, to me, if you have like 835,000 subscribers, you're serious, right? That's like a serious YouTuber. People take him seriously. People respect him and they follow him and so on and so forth. Unlike my YouTube channel over here, okay? So he's really going in on Diddy. And so I'm basically halfway through his latest video, and it was very interesting. The only thing that jumps out at me, and I don't know that it means anything. It probably means nothing, but it just occurred to me because he said something about 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lube, which is a lot of baby oil. You know, I mean, people use baby oil just for their skin to moisturize their skin. I mean, they use it for their hair, etc. So all of a sudden, I mean, you know, baby oil is a bad thing. I mean, go figure. But that said, so I have to remember, don't ever cup to having baby oil in the house. That's bad. Baby oil is bad. I never knew this. It's baby oil. It's for babies. You take this on the damp skin of the baby and you moisturize the baby's skin with the baby oil. How do you take baby oil and turn it into the devil? How do you do this? This is unforgivable. That said, I digress. So he said something that jumped out at me, and it has jumped out at me before. Now, the Cassie video is a central feature of this lawsuit. I think it was catalytic, in fact, once the investigators saw this video of this person here kicking and stomping on his girlfriend in a public hotel and dragging her back to the room like she was an animal or worse. And then there was a lawsuit by this other person. Then that sort of opened up the Pandora's box and got him investigated and then brought in on RICO charges, sex trafficking charges, etc. So then this guy Stephen A. Smith, just referenced the 1,000 bottles of baby oil that were in his house, right? And then I thought of the Cassie video, which was in a hotel. It was not in his house. And the whole thing is starting to kind of like not make a lot of sense to me, because it seems that what they're saying is that he has this special room in his house specifically designated for these freak-offs, right? And he has all these thousands of bottles of baby oil and lube in this room or near the room or for the room, whatever the preposition, I don't know. And he does all this demonic stuff with this room, with all these people and so on and so forth. So it seems that the central piece of evidence or pieces of evidence would therefore emanate from this room, the room of the devil, whatever you want to call it, where he has all of this paraphernalia and all of the freak-offs. But in fact, the main thrust of this lawsuit occurred in a public hotel where I doubt he had any bottles of baby oil or any, I mean, I don't know, maybe he had 1 or 2 bottles. I mean, I really don't know, but I don't think he had thousands of bottles of baby oil or lube in this public hotel room. I don't think he would have had the ability to rig this hotel room with hidden cameras, right? Because, I mean, if you figure that he was in this hotel room to traffic his girlfriend, which I think is what they're trying to say, then it would be out of character and inconsistent that he wouldn't have wanted to videotape this, because we know that he videotapes everything in his life dating back to 1992, right? So he would want this on videotape. I mean, if he went to all the trouble of trafficking, you know, a third party to come to this hotel room with his girlfriend, but then he leaves the room in his house or wherever it is, where he has all of the paraphernalia and the cameras to capture this event, then to me, something doesn't make sense. Something doesn't make sense in terms of why he and his girlfriend were actually in this hotel room. Now, his side says that, you know, they were having an argument about him cheating on the girlfriend. And so when he fell asleep, the girlfriend left with his clothes and so on. And, you know, he came out after her when he woke up or whatever and, you know, dragged her back to the room. But it sounds like what the prosecutors are saying is that there potentially was a third party in the room. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong if you guys know differently. And this third party was, you know, some kind of sex worker who was hired. And this is all part of his RICO violations. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me because, again, his MO is to videotape all of these sessions. Am I correct? And to do that, he needs to have a room that's rigged up for that. I mean, the horror of it all, right? And that would not be in a hotel room. He can't rig a hotel room. He doesn't have the authority. He doesn't have the time. He doesn't have the privacy to do it without being discovered. And so it doesn't make sense that he would have taken her to a hotel to perpetrate this RICO behavior, you know, of trafficking and videotaping, also secretly videotaping, and so on. I mean, everything he needed for that scenario was back at his house somewhere, right? The room, the privacy to effectuate his demonic behavior, the lube, the cameras, etc., right? Etc. You guys, do you understand what I'm trying to say to you? So what do you think that means? I mean, remember that this video with Cassie at the hotel is pivotal. It is a critical piece of evidence. The whole case turns on this video, apparently, to prove their case, RICO, trafficking, transportation, da-da-da-da-da-da. But he's not in a venue that would allow him to actually, you know, effectuate and perpetrate the very acts he's accused of, because he needs the cameras, he needs the lube, he needs, I mean, whatever else they need for this kind of stuff. I mean, for the love of God, I don't know. I don't even want to know. But, you know, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Something doesn't add up with that. And then Cassie's email after, where she, you know, she basically emailed him saying, you know, you treated me badly. I'm somebody's daughter. When you get effed up, you become this way. So she knew he was effed up when he did this. Was she likewise effed up? Who knows? Probably. But it's like she wasn't like leaving him at that point. It doesn't seem. It's just like she's following up, like, today was not cool because you do all this stuff and you go overboard. You know what I mean? The tone of that email, which is supposed to be a real whistleblower, the way people are playing it to show that she said all this, was not really of a woman who was necessarily leaving her boyfriend at that point. She was basically complaining about his behavior when he's effed up. And so they're in this hotel, but there are no cameras, there's no lube. So how is this part of the RICO thing? Is my big question. It's my big question. Listen, you guys, I think I've done enough puffy videos for today. I'm obsessed. It's like there's so many parts of this. I'm like, oh my God. Anyway, see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.